for this month to talk more about what it means to be absent from the business. Imagine this. It's day 3 and you have not heard from a key employee. That's right. They basically just stopped showing up for work. 3rd day in a row. This is a high-level employee, or let's even remove that from the equation. This is an employee. They're just not showing up from work. You haven't heard from them. You don't know what to do next. Well, this is a serious issue. It's actually not something to laugh at, even with my off-time chuckle there. So I want to walk you through some things to consider as you navigate this hiccup that can kind of throw things for a loop. So the first thing is, if you are reaching out to the emergency contact, you need to be careful about what you are disclosing. In some instances, you may be limited in disclosing certain things if you have at least a little bit of information on why they're unavailable, okay? So if you have an inkling that it may have to deal with a health issue that they've informed you about, and you're trying to get more information about that, you have to be careful of disclosing it to that contact if you don't have it in writing that you can disclose that type of information to them. The other thing is, you want to be careful if you have any indication that the emergency contact is maybe part of the reason for the disappearance or unavailability. But there's usually some other things that you might be thinking of. You may be thinking that they've just abandoned their post at work. Well, if you have an employment agreement with them, or if you have signed policies with them that cover abandonment of your post, then you can usually follow that policy if it is one where you're comfortable that it complies with applicable law. What would be applicable law? Well, you would have to consider federal law, but a lot of what will drive this is the law for that employee's state or states of service. Where are they actually physically located when they are performing the majority of their duties? That's the law that you will likely have to consider. So why am I pointing this out? This is actually something that is usually neglected. A lot of times people will onboard employees with only an offer letter, without an employment agreement, without a handbook in place, and without even an internal sense of policy around what they will do if an employee is suddenly unavailable in the business. There are other things to think about. What sort of access should you suspend? How do you take over work for items where only they have the information available? There's a lot that you could do from a process and legal standpoint to make sure that this sort of emergency doesn't have to become an urgency in the business, where you can have a protocol in place that is vetted through legal counsel and through other key stakeholders like compliance, like HR, to make sure that you're able to deal with it with confidence, as opposed to with a sense of dread or uncertainty or fear. So if you're curious to learn more, I invite you to click the link below and schedule a call with me. Thanks.